Hello beautiful souls and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aura and today we are going to talk about addictions, why we have them, and a few ways that would help us get rid of them. So without any further ado, let's dive right into it. So first of all, why are we having addictions? We are having addictions because we are trying to fill up a void with something else. I can give you an example from my personal life, which is that I have smoked for 20 years of my life, and one day I just quit cold turkey. Not only have I done this, but I know of so many other people that have done the same thing, that have quit smoking cold turkey after decades of self-destructive behavior. When it comes to smoking, why I'm giving you this example is because when you smoke, you inhale deeply and then you exhale. And what happens when we do that? Anxiety subsides. Sure, there are the chemicals that you have in the cigarettes that are numbing your system, but another reason is the simple act of inhaling, of taking a deep breath. When we do that naturally, we regulate our nervous system, we regulate our entire body. Because I did not know of any other way back then to regulate my system, I thought that a thing outside of me, such as a cigarette, would be able to help with that. And so instead of helping myself, I used like a permission slip. I used a tool, something outside of myself, to help me regulate my body, my emotions, my anxiety, whatever it was that I was going through. Now I know that when I'm stressed, I just need to sit and meditate or take a few deep breaths. And if you're gonna go to my website, I have free tools that you can use and download, among which there is one document that contains very simple breathing techniques that you can apply throughout your day in any moment that you may need to do so, instead of, I don't know, having a cigarette or doing something else. Another example is that of food. When you are immersed in work, it can be anything where you spend hours and hours bringing something into fruition. Did you ever feel that when you do that, you don't feel particularly hungry? And that is because you are doing something that is meaningful for you. You are actually creating something. Even if it's an Excel sheet, once you are immersed within that work and once you are getting things done, the feeling of being hungry simply disappears. One thing that I think is very important to know is the fact that humans can go without food between 50 to 70 days. Of course that this depends on age. So if you are older, you're gonna need food more frequently than that. If you are younger, of course, you're going to need more food frequently than that because your body is evolving. But normally, humans can go without food between 50 to 70 days, that is 7 to 10 weeks. So we are definitely having an epidemic of overeating. We are not sleeping enough. Humans can go without sleep for only 10 days, after which you naturally just die if you don't get sleep for 10 days. And yet we don't sleep enough, we do not hydrate, we don't drink enough water, and we can only live without water for maximum 3 days. So please don't be doing any dry fasts. That is the stupidest thing that has been ever invented. Do not do dry fasts. You need water to survive, but you do not need food that frequently. And most definitely not as frequently as we are having it today. And why do we feel the need to constantly eat? That is because we are not fulfilled on a day-to-day basis. We are not doing the things that we love in our life, that bring meaning to our life. Whether it's an Excel sheet, as I mentioned before, or whether it's your dream job. Maybe your dream job is doing Excel stuff or whatever it is that you're doing. One way to begin to transform this habit is to start doing things in your everyday life that make you feel fulfilled, because then you don't need to fill that void with food anymore. When you're trying to get rid of something, a habit such as smoking, drinking, eating, it can be anything else, it can be any other drugs, whatever it is that you're dealing with, it can be people pleasing. There are so many ways in which addictions can play out for each and every individual depending on our programming and the way that we have been educated and the society that we find ourselves in. And so if you are approaching releasing these addictions with the mentality of having to fight them, then you will never be able to transform these habits and release them, because fighting implies resistance. Whatever you put your energy into, you create more of. So if you are fighting, then the only thing you will create more of is that fight. So the important thing here is to be kind with yourself through this process, to be very understanding of yourself. So if you're saying from now on, I'm not going to smoke anymore, or I'm not going to drink anymore, but yet you do end up having that 1 cigarette or 3 cigarettes, or having that glass of wine or 5, I don't know. But after it happens, the next day when you're hungover, or after you've had that cigarette, of course, that guilt kicks in. And this is how you know that you're having an addiction, when guilt starts kicking in. But as soon as that guilt starts kicking in, you inhibit your brain from learning a new way of being. Medical scientific studies have shown that a state of guilt and a state of shame are inhibiting the brain's learning centers. So when you are inhibiting the brain's learning centers, then you are inhibiting yourself from being able to learn a new way of being, a new way of living life. So what you can do instead is be kind to yourself. Understand that it is a process. Understand that it is something that has been deeply ingrained within your system, that your body and your subconscious mind sees as a safety net. That type of programming makes it hard for us, whoever it is that you are, to just cold turkey let go of these things. And so just like it took time to build a drinking habit, it took time to build an eating habit, and so on, it takes time to heal. And the longer this habit has been inhabiting your body, the longer the healing process can take. But the most important thing here is to not fight yourself, but instead practice kindness towards yourself. Practice self-care and self-awareness. I did this, it's fine. Next time, I'll do better. And it's okay if next time you don't do better. That is fine. Just look at your progress, and you might find that maybe you have had 1 less cigarette, or you did eat less today, or even if you're having fallbacks, allow yourself to have them. That is okay. Just be kind to yourself, because when you do this, you will be able to release any resistance towards what is, and thus you will empower yourself to step into a new way of being. And again, I know this from my own experience when it comes to food, when it comes to alcohol, when it comes to cigarettes. And not just that, also when it comes to other activities such as people pleasing, because that is also an addiction. Another way to work with these addictions is trying to catch yourself right before it happens. Maybe another thing that is helpful to know here is that relaxing and recharging are 2 different things. When we relax, we may be watching TV, but when we recharge, we need to do something that is actually fulfilling in order to recharge our batteries. So you are in a creative state. You paint, you draw, you dance, you create music, you garden, you do something that cultivates a state of fulfillment within your body, within your essence, within your soul, something that sparks joy and that gives you a sense of purpose. That happens when we recharge. Whenever we feel bad, we are looking for crutches. We are looking for something to help ourselves with that is outside of ourselves. That can be turning on the TV and distracting ourselves with a movie, or it can be distracting ourselves with work. How many times have we not seen in our society that people, when they grieve, they dive into work in order to not have to deal with the feelings that they're actually feeling? And that in itself is also an addiction. Whether you are trying to mask your emotions with alcohol, cigarettes, food, work, people pleasing, whatever else you can find that will take you outside of your body, outside of the experience that is going on within yourself, then that is an addiction. And so what we need to do here is return back within ourselves and see what it is exactly that is going on. Why am I doing this? Why am I running away from myself? What is actually happening within me? What is it that I need to tackle? What is it that I need to understand? What is my body trying to tell me? And the more you are going to go within and have a conversation with yourself in these moments instead of going without, or if you don't feel ready to go within, immerse yourself in something creative, something that will spark a sense of fulfillment within you, within your essence, a sense of expansion, then that will help you begin to dismantle these addictions that are just filling up a void for something that actually craves your attention. Because again, these addictions are your body trying to tell you something, your inner child trying to tell you something, your senses, your intuition screaming at you, trying to get your attention. And because we've never learned to look for help within, we try and mask it, searching for help outside of ourselves, and thus creating addictions. I hope that this video has brought some type of clarity to you. Again, remember to be kind to yourself, to not shame yourself or guilt yourself into anything or because you have done anything, because in doing so you will only inhibit your learning centers within the brain, which help you create a new way of being. So practice kindness, have patience, remember that it is a process, and remember that addictions are ultimately a way of us abandoning ourselves. So try to find that way back to yourself and see what your body, your intuition, your heart, and your emotions and senses are actually trying to tell you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type them in the comments below, and check out the free resources that I'm having on my website in the links below. You can find them in 3 different languages. And if you like this video, please do like and subscribe, because it helps send it out there into the world so that more people can find it. And with this, I bid you a most wonderful moment of the infinite now. Take care of yourself and have an amazing one. Bye.